the Nub Maduro. What's up everybody, Eric here from Tea and Tobacco, and today I am looking at the Maduro version of the Nub cigar from Oliva. So let's get to it. So today I am looking at the Nub Maduro, and this is from Oliva. No, I am not doing a blind tasting today because it is a nub and kind of stands out in a crowd. I don't have any other brands that make those short and fat cigars. I know there are a couple out there, but I didn't have any in my humidor, so it would not be a surprise on what brand this is. And also, this is the only one I have of this kind, so I would need to take pictures and all that stuff. And if I smoke this blind, then I would have nothing to take pictures of. All right, so getting into it, we are looking at a 4x64. This is the Torpedo size, the 464, and that means it's got a full 1 inch on the foot and most of the length of the cigar, going down to a tapered Torpedo cap. So is your standard cap on a Torpedo, and the seams are perfect. I can't even see them actually. Oh, there they are. So they look great. The wrapper leaf is perfect condition. Nice tiny veins. There's one little vein that kind of sticks up here, but it is actually perfectly constructed. Nice even pack. The scent, oh man, it has a nice strong aroma. Has a nice sweet tobacco with a bit of compost or forest floor and a good amount of cedar in there as well. So let's get this cut up and get smoking here. And while I'm doing that, be sure to like and subscribe, and check me out on various social medias, which you can find up in the corner right now. And also there is a Discord server that is open that I'm in pretty much all the time. And that is down in the description. I'm in there on text chat pretty much all the time, and available on voice quite often. So on the initial light here, the draw is perfect. I took a very small piece off the cap. It's probably less than a ½ an inch here, and it is working out perfect. It is a little windy out, so some of my toasting did go a little errant, and I did singe the wrapper a little bit more than I wanted to, but not a big deal. On the draw, you get a touch of cocoa and a decent amount of white pepper, and then it kind of degrades into a decent cedar and oak note, and on the retrohale it kind of kicks up some of that pepper and that cedar. So that's where we're sitting right here at the initial light, and I will update you in a little bit. Oh, just fell off here at 25 minutes in. It was just about an inch down. It is a bit of a slower burner because it is a 64 gauge, so that tends to be the case. It was burning a little wavy, and it just kind of corrected itself right before I started recording here. The thing about this cigar being so short is that the smoke going in is a lot warmer than I would like it to be. So unless you're very careful, you can end up washing out kind of these flavors. So flavor-wise, you're looking at kind of a deep dark chocolate, and also kind of that oak note kind of comes in there, and then there's a slight almond note in there as well. There's a very, very light sweetness in there, but not anything overly powerful, or really you have to search for it to pick it out. And then there's a little bit of pepper on the back of the palate as well. On the retrohale, you kind of get that cedar note back, and then actually a little bit of coffee note in there too. But the finish is relatively short, and it just kind of degrades into that cedar and oak are kind of what hang around at the end of it. So I'm gonna keep smoking this down, and I will update you again in a little bit. The hat of the day today, I am wearing my fan set. It also has ear flaps. Very affordable. You can find it down in the link in the description. And something interesting about this hat is it has a drawstring, so you can actually tighten it down if it's actually too big for you. All right, so just finishing it up here. This is about a 50-55 minute smoke or so. I mean, it is only a 4-inch, but since it is a 64 ring gauge, it's going to be a much longer smoke than you would think. So just be aware of that this isn't a quick smoke at all. Just be careful when you get down to the end of it that you do smoke it low and slow, because the heat really starts to creep in and can wash out those flavors. So just be careful of it. It ended up, I started smoking it slower and slower, and then it finally went out on me. I just didn't want to get that heat and washed out flavors and burnt flavors and all that fun stuff. Flavor wise, up until the end was pretty much the same as the last update. You had that cocoa and oak and almond. Very, very, very light sweetness, the little hit of pepper, and then on the retrohale you kind of had that cedar and coffee notes, and then the finish kind of continued to degrade into that cedar and oak for the most part, and then kind of went away. It's a relatively short finish. So there you go. Thanks for watching my review of the Nub Maduro from Oliva. Be sure to like and subscribe, comment, question, feedback down below. There's also a Discord server that's open. You can find that down in the description. All my social medias are below, and be sure to check out some more videos over on this side that are showing up right now. Also, I have opened up a Patreon, so you can go check that out as well. And I will see you next time on Tea and Tobacco. See you guys.